Tony Gilio here to answer one simple question. This question we received from the rep force that asks, why should I use the app? So I have 5 answers for you. There are many more than that, but the 5 that I'm going to answer here today are, number 1, gaining greater access to credit card transactions, credit and debit transactions. Right now, we only receive about 7% of our transactions in the display business via card. The rest of the retail world is well over 90%. So we would like to increase our transactions via card to not only gain new customers, but also to increase our average transaction. Number 2 is to get off our reliance of the contact person. Right now, we ask our contact person to do many things, but one of them is to email or fax us the order form. And so if we can use the app, or when we use the app, we will not have that need anymore because we will have that readily accessible to us. 3 is because of the app, we would have specific access to our customers. Again, not going through our contact person to send out an email, but we could send them an email or notification automatically directly from us, the representative, as opposed to having to rely on the contact person to send it on our behalf. Number 4 is increasing our breadth of product. Right now, we only bring product on display that we know will sell at that display, but we will also have the ability to sell higher price point product that maybe historically has had a higher rate of theft, or product that right now is too big for us to bring on display. So that having a greater breadth of product will increase the number of customers that we can reach, increase our transactions and our average transaction, and again, allow us to make more money. And last but absolutely not least is gaining access to more people, bringing more new customers down to our display, but also accessing people outside of our display, outside of the building that we're in, outside of the school system. The average student, the average child has 2.6 parents. So we would like to start accessing those parents and family members and friends of those family members to be able to sell directly to them. And that too would obviously increase sales and increase income for everyone involved.
Hi, my name is Monica, and I want to welcome you to the training video for the Digital Order Form Event Manager system. Some of you may be familiar with the program that was released to some of our reps last year as part of a pilot test program. It was the feedback that we got from that program that allowed us to redesign the system to be better aligned to your business practices. I'm excited to show you through the system today. Quickly, let's discuss what an event is. An event is the same thing as a drop. We're going to be using the term event going forward as we talk about the Event Manager system that enables you to manage your locations, schedule events at those locations, and create lineups of products to be offered at those events. Beyond planning what products will be on display at your event, the system will automatically launch your events in the Digital Order Form mobile app and website. That means with no extra effort on your part, your customers will now be able to order and pay for these products online. This is not only more convenient for your customer, but because order information is collected online, this will significantly reduce the amount of paper order tracking that you and your location contacts will need to manage. Finally, the email addresses from your customers will automatically be added to your eBlast contacts list, allowing you to email with them directly for future events. After an event ends, the system will help you tally and fulfill your orders, collecting all of the online and paper order data so that it will flow automatically onto your sales order at the end of the week. All of these actions take place within a clean and easy-to-use user interface, relieving you of much of the effort required of setting up events today.
For those of you new to Event Manager, a new icon will appear on your RepTools page. When that happens, you may notice that the old links for drop sheets and line-by-line tools will be replaced with these 2 tools, as those other tools will no longer be used. Let us now enter the Event Manager and take a tour around. This is the Event Manager homepage. Routes are groups of locations that are geographically close to each other. For example, you may have your east side route versus your west side route. These are groups of locations that you will visit on the same schedule repeatedly through the year. Lineups are groups of products from your inventory that will be offered for sale at an event. Events, recall, are the same as a drop. Events combine a route with a lineup and a set of dates for when that event will be live. The tally screen will both summarize all of the orders that have been placed online, but also allow you to tally the paper orders turned in, making it easy to see your total sales for every event. The fulfillment screen provides reports to help you pick all of the ordered products needing to be delivered to each location, and the ability to mark those orders as fulfilled. Individual customer receipts are also available from this screen. The remaining 3 links at the top right of the screen are administrative type tasks. The locations list is what used to be referred to as the line by line. It is a list of all locations that have been assigned to your territory. From this list, you will still be able to enter contact information and comments for a location, as well as request a new lead to be added to your territory. System preferences will allow you to set floor quantities for the products in your inventory, which governs whether or not a product is presented for sale on the mobile app and the website. Some other My Store preferences are also found here. And Exit, of course, will log you out of the Rep portal.
In this chapter, we're going to be looking at routes and lineups. Routes are now just lists of locations that are close together that you would always visit on the same date. Once you've figured out how to efficiently organize your location into routes, you won't have to change that again to create new events. Lineups, of course, are lists of products that you're going to offer for sale. Every cycle comes out with a set of products that it's going to feature, so you'll be creating new lineups every cycle. Both routes and lineups are independent of the concept of an event, so I'll show you how you can maintain those items separately.
Routes are groups of locations that are geographically close to each other. Your routes may remain static for long periods of time if you have a stable territory, or if your territory is more dynamic, the routes will need to be updated as you add and remove locations. The list of your routes will display alphabetically by name. You can create new routes by using the Create New button or the Routes main menu. The name that you give a route must not have been used before. You can edit the name of a route from the Edit Route page or from the Routes main menu. For an existing route, the Edit button will show you what locations make up that route. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see a list of My Locations. This list is the same list that you will see up underneath the Locations main menu, except that the My Locations list here is filtered to show you only those with status equals yes, meaning those locations that you are actively working with. All of the locations in the My Locations list that are already associated to the route are highlighted, so you can see which ones belong to the route and which ones are still available to be added. You can add locations by clicking the green plus button, and you can remove those locations from the route by clicking the Remove button. For each location, you can modify contact information on a location-by-location basis, and you can also keep comments per each location. Lineups are standalone lists of products. You may wish to create lineups one per cycle, or possibly one per cycle per route, depending on how much you customize your lineups to your locations. The list of My Lineups will display with the most recently created lineups at the top of the grid. You can create new lineups by using the main menu option or the Create New button. And just like with routes, the name that you provide for your lineup must not have been used before. You can easily load your production titles to a lineup by clicking the Load Production button. The season will be defaulted for you, so you need to only select what cycle, And then if you would like to load recommended instead of max prices, you can select that here. Clicking continue, and then all of those production items have been loaded to that lineup. You can then continue to add other titles to your lineup by scrolling down to the My Inventory list and clicking the plus button. Again, we see that the items that are currently in the list will be highlighted so you can see what's offered and what has yet to be added. So let's look now at the pricing of items on a lineup. You can see in this grid we have the pricing type field, table price, whether there's a secondary price available or not, and INB price for every item. The first thing you'll notice is that items with secondary pricing available display all in red font so that they are easily distinguishable. You can modify the price of an item by clicking on the price type. You can select recommended, or you can come back in and the system will default that you're going to be setting a custom price, and you can edit that price. Note that if you try to set a custom price that is lower than the INB price, the system is going to warn you to make sure that you understand that that's what's going to happen. It will, however, allow you to set a price that is lower than INB price, which will in effect means that you will be selling the item at a loss. You can also set custom prices for items that have secondary pricing. Notice that when you set a custom price on a secondary priced item, the font will return to the normal color. If you want to return to the secondary pricing, you can just come back in and select either max or rec. And again, on secondary price items as well, if you set a price that is lower than INB, it will warn you. The max and recommended buttons at the top of the lineup will change every item in the lineup to either max or rec, except for the custom priced items, of course, which are not changed.
So that's how easy it is to maintain your routes and your lineups in the Event Manager system. If you have additional questions, please contact your senior sales leaders. Thanks for watching. Now that you've seen some of the main screens of the Event Manager, in this chapter, let's take some time to look closely at the grid functionality that is standard throughout the system.
All of the grids in the Event Manager system are built with sorting and filtering functionality. You can sort a column's value by clicking on the column name. The first click will sort ascending, the second click will sort descending, and a third click will remove the sort from that column. Do be aware that if you sort by one column and then apply a sort in a second column, the first sort will still be applied first until you release that. The search box at the top of most grids allows you to type in any phrase and the system will do a contains search across all data columns in the associated grid. For instance, I can search on the word king and it will return any location that has the word king in the ID field, the name, address, city, state, zip, county, and school district columns. You can see exactly which columns are being filtered on by the presence of the filter icon. You can clear this filter off of all the columns at once by clicking the X in the search box. You can filter on a particular column by clicking on the column settings control and selecting filter. This filter allows you some more advanced options. It has other matching criteria rather than just contains. And you also have the ability to set up to 2 criteria. Once again, you see that the filtered column has the funnel icon displayed. You can remove the filter from an individual column by clicking on the column settings, going to Filter, and selecting Clear. You can also control what columns are visible in your grid. Again, from the Column Settings control, select Columns, and this is a list of all the columns that are available. You can add new columns to your view, or you can remove existing columns from your view to give you more space. You can resize the columns to see all your data at once. The bottom left-hand corner of the grids have the paging controls. You can select how many items to display per page, and the system will tell you how many pages there are. The bottom right of most grids has a record counter, showing you how many records are currently visible out of all records in that data set. For example, it could be very useful to know at a glance how many locations are in a route, or how many products are in a lineup. If you apply a filter, the total items counts reflects only those in the filtered data set.
All of the grids in the Event Manager system allow you to easily sort, filter, and page through your data quickly so that you can find the information you need to complete your task. If you have additional questions, please contact your senior sales leaders. Thanks for watching. In this chapter, we'll talk about events, which is of course the central concept of the Event Manager system. An event links a route with a lineup and a set of dates that define when an event is live. Creating your events in the Event Manager system will automatically generate drop sheets, order forms, and other things to take to your physical drops, but also allows the system to collect order data so that you can track sales performance on a location-by-location basis. But now the Event Manager is also integrated with our digital order forms on both the orders.collectivegoods.com website and the mobile app that your customers can download to their phones. The convenience of online ordering means not only that your customers can order when and where they like, but it eliminates many of the paper order forms and payments that you need to track down and manage.
The event menu takes you to your list of My Events. The system supports two types of events. We have master events shown here that associates a route with a lineup and a set of dates for which this event will be active. Since every route represents multiple schools or locations, there is also an event created behind the scenes for each of those schools. However, for this version of the Event Manager, we are only going to be working with master events, those here at the route level. You can create your events from this page by clicking the Create New button. And once again, you see the Add button that indicates that you can click to select a route. This lookup screen contains all of the routes in your My Routes list that you can select to add to this event. You can select your lineup the same way. However, you do not have to select a lineup in order to create the master event. You can move directly on to specifying your dates. You must select both a start date and an end date for your events. These are the dates that the event will be made live on the website and the mobile app. Notice that the end date has an end date time as well. The system will default this time to 8 p.m. You can set that to be whatever time you want to end the event on the apps and the website. We recommend that you set that to be earlier than the time that you plan to pull your inventory for delivery for this event. If you plan to pull your inventory at 6 o'clock on that date, then set your end time to earlier than that. And you can rest assured that no further orders will come in after you have printed your pick lists. On the other hand, if you would rather leave your events live as late as possible, and you do not find late night orders an inconvenience, then you may wish to set that time to be midnight on that last date. Be aware that this end time is interpreted to be the Mountain Time Zone. If you live in a different time zone, you'll need to adjust for your time. You can print drop sheets for your event by clicking on the print icon. There are 3 sets of reports included with this tool, and you can run any combination of them at a time. The parameter fields will automatically default with values. The delivery date defaults to the next business day after your end date. The post-dated check's due date defaults to 3 weeks after your end date. Payment due date defaults to your end date. And the custom text defaults to the text you used most recently on another drop sheet. You can, of course, change any of these values that you wish, and those values are stored with the event so that if you need to print any of these reports a second time, the same information will come up. Finally, you have the option to print location information and address on your drop sheets, or to hide that information. If you include location information, each report will generate a single page for each location. Whereas if you hide that data, then only one page will be generated, which you can then copy to use at as many locations as you need. All reports will generate as PDF files.
So that's how easy it is to create new events in the Event Manager system. I hope you see the screens are easy to use and will allow you to keep track of what events you've scheduled out for the next few weeks and where you're going to be running your events. If you have more questions, please contact your senior sales leaders. Thanks for watching. In this chapter, we're going to look at brand new functionality we've never had before, the online tally screen. This screen will allow you to tally your paper orders from a location, as well as combine that with online orders from that location, so you can see all your orders from a particular event.
The tally screen allows you to log all of the paper orders coming from a location. The tally screen opens with a list of all of your currently active and recently ended master events. Click on one to drill down to the next level. Here you'll see a list of all the locations within that route that have events. You may notice that in the effort to provide you this training video as quickly as possible, some of this tally functionality is not yet working. You'll have to use your imagination as you follow along with me. One can see, for each location, a summary of all the orders coming for that event, both the online orders and the on-site paper orders. The online information, of course, will automatically show up here on this screen as each order is received. This will give you visibility into the orders coming from the mobile app and the website in nearly real time. If you select a location, the system will again drill down to give you details at the SKU level. The order screen will list every product on the lineup that was offered at this event. Again, the online order information will automatically show up here. You will enter the on-site paper order tallies here in the quantity column. How you use this screen will depend on how you work with your location contacts. If your contacts fax you the paper orders daily, then you may wish to come to the screen daily to update the order totals. Or your contact may wait until the end of the event and send you all of that information at once. If that is the case, then you would come to the screen only after you have received all the information for an event. Some locations may not have a contact who sends the order information to the rep prior to delivery. Instead, those reps load their van with enough product to fulfill anticipated orders, which is reconciled when they arrive at the school. With this process, the rep needs to be able to quickly tally the paper orders and reconcile the payments collected against the payments that are due. The online tally screen can help with tallying orders in the field as well. We've designed this screen to be able to work well on a tablet device that can be taken with you to a location. Type in your order tallies while at the school, and the screen will calculate the total payments that should be collected. At the bottom of the orders screen is the Add button to add other products to this list. Possibly you had a customer who contacted you about purchasing an item you had on the display at the last event. Because the product wasn't on the lineup for this event, that SKU will not be listed for you to indicate the sale. You'll want to add that product to the list so that your sales total can be accurate. Clicking the Add button will allow you to search for any item in your inventory to add to the list. When you add an item, you will be able to set the price that you are selling it for as well. However you work with the tally screen, when you have finished entering all the paper orders from this location, you will click the Tallied button to tell the system you are done. Make sure that you are completely done before you click the Tallied button, because this screen will become read-only after you have done so. However, don't worry, the fulfillment screen will allow you to capture last-minute orders that come in after you have finished with this tally. Marking a location fully tallied does two things. The Tallies by Location screen will show a check mark indicating which locations you have finished with. But also, behind the scenes, the system will aggregate the paper order quantities into an order. This aggregated tally order will appear on the fulfillment screen, just like any other online order, including that it will flow onto your sales order at the end of the week. While it may seem like extra work to enter your paper tallies into the system, this will actually provide two significant benefits. First, as I've already mentioned, you will have an accurate record of all orders from an event in one place, which helps to determine the give back due to your location contact. But more significantly, by entering location tallies into the system, you can eliminate the need to do a separate manual tally for the whole week, because the system will be able to sum across all the locations that you had events at. Plus, all the data from the paper orders will now also flow directly onto your sales order, eliminating all that data entry as well.
By using the online tally screen, you can tally up all of the paper orders from a location and have that automatically combined with the online orders coming from that location. This information will flow automatically into your fulfillment and then sales order screens. If you have additional questions, please check with your senior sales leaders. Thanks for watching. In this chapter, we're going to talk about the fulfillment screen. The fulfillment screen will list both all the online orders that you have received from an event, but also the paper tallied order that you entered on the tally screen. The combination of all this information can be printed out on pick lists that will help you pull all the products that you need to take to the school to deliver. Fulfilled orders will then follow onto your sales order at the end of the week.
On the fulfillment screen, you will see all of the orders you have received. You may recall that the tally screen displays a summary of all the items ordered so far, but that screen focuses on counts of items by SKU. This fulfillment screen deals with individual customers and their orders. Notice this order with a customer name of TUCA1-Tally. TUCA1 is the rep code for the rep that I am testing with. When you see a customer name of rep code-tally, this is the indicator that this order is the aggregated paper order that was created from the tally screen. When you type in the numbers of products ordered from paper forms into the tally screen, and then mark that location as done being tallied, the system packages up those quantities into an order and sends that through to the fulfillment screen. So now fulfilling your paper orders will follow the same process that the online ones do. There are 5 order statuses. New orders have just been received and are not yet fulfilled. Fulfilled orders have had their products pulled and are ready for delivery. On SO means that you have started a new sales order for the week and have imported this order's information onto that sales order, but that sales order has not yet been submitted. Finalized means that the sales order referencing this order has been submitted. And finally, an order can have a status of canceled. Clicking on an order will bring up the order's detail screen with additional information about the order, including the items ordered. From the detail screen, you can use the previous and next buttons to step through the orders that are listed in the grid above. If you prefer to fill all new orders on the day that they arrive, then this screen will make it easy to step through each individual new order, pull your inventory, and fulfill that order one at a time. However, if you do not have a computer accessible from your warehouse, then you can also use the pick list report to summarize all new orders by location. From the header of the orders grid, select the Print Pick List button. The selection dialog contains a list of all locations that have new orders currently, a count of how many new orders there are per location, and a checkbox indicating whether that location has been tallied or not. You can select one or more of these locations to print the pick list for. Once you have finished pulling all the inventory for those locations that you are going to deliver to, you need to mark those orders as fulfilled. You can do that in the same way using the Fulfill button from the header of the orders grid. You must mark orders as fulfilled before they will be automatically imported into your sales order. You can print individual receipts for customers, either one at a time by using the print icon in the grid, or by using the print receipt button in the header. You can cancel individual orders if they are in the new, fulfilled, or on SO status. Doing so will cancel the order so that it is not included in your sales order at the end of the week. However, if the customer paid by credit card, then you will still need to work with customer service to request a refund be issued. The system will assist you by generating the email message, including all of the details about the order you need a refund issued for. This email message will open to the screen, allowing you to customize the message before sending it to customer service.
So you see how convenient it is to have all of your online orders and your paper orders combined on the fulfillment screen so that you can pull one set of pick lists to pull all your products and then have all of that information, including your paper orders, flow onto your sales order at the end of the week. I hope you've enjoyed this tour through the Event Manager system. We're very excited about it and hope that you are too. They will help you maintain the locations that are assigned to your territories, set up lineups of products to offer for sale, and schedule events both now and into the future. The integration with the digital order form means that with no extra effort, your events will be available online, offering your customers the ability to order from the mobile app and/or the website. This is not only additional ordering convenience for your customers, but also tracks that order information automatically for you so that it flows into fulfillment and your sales order at the end of the week. If you have additional questions, please check with your senior sales leaders. Thanks for your attention.